The galactic hegemony had ruled for 3,000 years, an empire spanning 47 star systems and 19 intelligent species. They had crushed rebellions, absorbed civilizations, and perfected the art of subjugation. But they had never encountered humanity. Mia stood at the observation deck of the Resistance flagship Defiance, watching the blue-green marble of Earth rotating below. Her reflection in the reinforced glass showed a woman hardened by war, sharp eyes, close-cropped hair, and a scar running from her temple to her jaw. She'd earned that scar on Titan during the first human uprising against the hegemony occupation. "They're calling for you in the war room," Max said, approaching from behind. Where Mia was all edges and intensity, Max was calculated calm. His engineering genius had kept their fleet operational through impossible odds. Jury-rigging human and alien technology into something uniquely devastating? "Let them wait," Mia replied, her voice carrying the weight of command. "I'm remembering why we fight." Max joined her at the window. "We fight because they thought we'd kneel. The hegemony had arrived 15 years ago with their usual protocol: overwhelming force, a demonstration of power, and a simple demand for submission. They had done this successfully across dozens of worlds. But humanity's answer had been different. Humanity said no. The war room buzzed with activity. Holographic displays showed the disposition of forces across the solar system. The hegemony's siege fleet, a massive armada of crystalline warships, held position near Jupiter, their standard intimidation tactic. They expected humans to break, to surrender, to accept their place as the 20th conquered species. "Status report," Mia commanded, taking her position at the central console. Captain Rodriguez, a veteran of the Mars garrison, spoke first. "The hegemony fleet maintains their blockade. 300 capital ships supporting vessels numbering in the thousands. They've given us 48 hours to surrender unconditionally. Or," Max asked, though everyone knew the answer, "orbital bombardment. They'll reduce Earth's surface to glass, then move on to the colonies." Mia studied the tactical display. The hegemony had every advantage: superior numbers, advanced technology, and millennia of military experience. By every logical calculation, humanity should accept defeat. But humans had never been particularly logical. "Show them our surprise," Mia said, a thin smile crossing her face. Max worked the controls and the holographic display shifted. Hundreds of new signals appeared throughout the solar system, behind asteroids, in the rings of Saturn scattered across the Kuiper Belt. Each represented a human vessel, improvised warships built in hidden shipyards during 15 years of resistance. "They're waiting for our signal," Max said. "Every pilot, every crew member, they know this is it." The hegemony had made their crucial mistake in the early days of occupation. They'd assumed human compliance, allowing Earth's internet and communication networks to remain partially operational. They thought it would help humans accept their new reality. Instead, humanity had used it to organize, to share knowledge, to coordinate across every colony and station. The hegemony had conquered species after species using the same playbook. But humanity had studied that playbook, learned from it, and prepared to rewrite it entirely. "Admiral," Lieutenant Chen interrupted from the communications station, "the hegemony command ship is hailing us." High Chancellor Vexrath himself. Mia nodded. On screen. The hologram materialized. A towering figure with 6 arms, iridescent scales, and eyes that had watched empires rise and fall. Vexrath radiated the confidence of someone who had never truly been challenged. "Human commander," his translated voice rumbled. "Your time expires. Surrender now and your species will serve the hegemony. Resist and you will be extinct by morning." Mia met his gaze without flinching. "Chancellor, you've conquered 19 species. You've perfected domination, but you've forgotten something crucial. And what is that, Primitive? You've forgotten what it's like to fight someone who refuses to lose." She cut the transmission and turned to her crew. "All ships execute Protocol Defiance. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for centuries to come." The hidden human fleet activated simultaneously, emerging from concealment like a swarm of angry hornets. They didn't engage in traditional combat formations or follow established tactical doctrine. Instead, they did something the hegemony couldn't predict. They improvised. Max's engineering modifications proved devastating. Human ships, smaller and supposedly inferior, used their maneuverability to deadly advantage. They deployed weapons cobbled together from alien technology and human ingenuity. Railguns firing at relativistic speeds, nuclear-pumped lasers, kinetic kill vehicles wrapped in stolen hegemony stealth fields. The battle raged across 3 planets and a dozen moons. Hegemony ships fell not to superior firepower, but to superior unpredictability. Human pilots flew patterns that no AI could anticipate because they were desperate, creative, and utterly unwilling to follow the rules of engagement. Mia commanded from the Defiance, coordinating the chaos into something resembling strategy. Max worked miracles in real time, redirecting power, rerouting systems, keeping their ships in the fight against all odds. "Their command ship is breaking formation," Rodriguez shouted. "They're retreating." The impossible was happening. The galactic hegemony, undefeated for 3 millennia, was withdrawing from Earth. But Mia knew this wasn't victory. Not yet. "Pursue them. Show them that humanity doesn't just defend. We hunt." The human fleet gave chase, harrying the hegemony ships through the outer solar system. They couldn't destroy the entire armada, but they didn't need to. They needed to send a message. 3 days later, the hegemony sued for peace. Mia and Max stood together in the same observation deck where their conversation had begun, watching as the last hegemony ships jumped to FTL, leaving Sol system forever. "They'll be back," Max said quietly. "Maybe not soon, but eventually." "Let them come," Mia replied. "They thought we were just another species to be conquered. Now they know the truth." "What truth is that?" Mia turned from the window, her eyes reflecting the stars. "That humanity doesn't just survive. We overcome, we adapt. We refuse to accept defeat even when defeat is logical. That's not a weakness, that's our greatest weapon." The galaxy had learned a hard lesson. Never underestimate a species that considers impossible a personal challenge rather than a limitation. The hegemony had fallen not through superior force, but through the simple, stubborn, beautiful human refusal to give up. And across 47 star systems, other subjugated species began to whisper a new word: hope.